Greetings, one and all. This is Crappy Reviews, and I'm the Crap Gamer. Today we're going to take a look at Animal Crossing City Folk on the Nintendo Wii. I admit, I was a big Animal Crossing fan before this game even came out. I used to play Animal Crossing on the GameCube, and then later on the DS with Animal Crossing Wide World. So I pretty much knew what to expect. I still hold the belief that Animal Crossing on the GameCube was the best one. There are a couple reasons for this. The first reason is that you could get classic NES games and actually play them in the game. It was a stellar addition to the game, and this has since been taken out. Probably because most of those games are now available on the Virtual Console or handheld systems, and Nintendo ends up losing money if they were to include them. So I can see why they took them out, although I wish they would put them back in, and I got a feeling other people would wish the same thing. The other reason I preferred Animal Crossing on the GameCube was the advertisements that used to come on television. They were just kind of funny or offbeat in a Napoleon Dynamite sort of way. They would even do kind of like these parodies of the MTV show The Real World. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but
here's the true story.
Four friends pick to live in a video game
And find out what happens when they stop being themselves.
and start being someone else.
Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube.
Nobody wants to trade insects with me, no matter how many notes I leave them.
Why am I always the one cleaning the house and picking the peaches? Where's my big fat hammock time?
So tense.
Welcome to Animal Crossing, the live game that's happening every minute of every day, whether you're playing or not.
So do you want to swap fossils with me later, or...?
Rated E for everyone.
as you can see, it's pretty funny, and even has a bit of innuendo thrown in. The real world comparison, I guess, would be nowadays compared to like that Jersey Shore show or something like that. It's one of those shows where people get thrown in together and live together and wackiness ensues. Anyway, Animal Crossing in a lot of ways reminds me of The Sims. There aren't really any goals per se. You more or less can do what you want. Though when you first move in, you have to work for someone part-time. But we'll get to that later on. The basic premise of Animal Crossing is simple. You can go around and gather fruit to sell in exchange for bells. Bells is the currency in Animal Crossing instead of money. There's a museum also which houses things like an aquarium, as well as a dinosaur bone exhibit. There's even a habitat for bugs you can catch and donate. Of course, they don't accept doubles, so if you catch more than one of the same kind of fish or bug, or if you dig up more than one kind of fossil, you can sell it for extra bells, and they're usually worth quite a bit. Your little house starts off really small, but throughout the game you get a chance to slowly pay off the mortgage, and each time you pay off your house, they offer you a chance for a room addition. So every time you think you're getting out, they drag you back in. Eventually, with enough time spent playing the game, and if you've saved up enough bells, you can get a really large house with an attic, a basement, extra rooms, a second floor. Also, it expands your main floor of your house to put in more furniture and things like that. The game lets you decorate your house with all sorts of different items. There are different sets of furniture you can buy and coordinate with your house. You can also buy different clothes and even make clothes with a specific design. You can put whatever design you want. There's all kinds. There's Nintendo ones, sports teams. There's ways you can look up tutorials online as well. YouTube's very popular for this, and GameFAQs and places like that. So it's a good little fun thing to do. You can plant trees, chop down trees, plant flowers, dig up flowers. It has very kind of a Harvest Moon kind of feel to it in a very good way. Also, you can talk to your town members and become friends with them, but you need to be careful not to time travel too much or they'll move away. It's also a good idea to talk to them at least a few times a day to keep them happy. You can send them mail, which they love, and they'll send you presents back and things like that. Time traveling is something in the game that you can do. I do it sometimes, but you don't want to time travel too far ahead because there's the risk of getting weeds in your town that you're going to have to go pull one by one. Also, there's the problem with some of the people in your town will get up and move away altogether. So it's best to avoid doing long time jumps. I'll do it every couple days when I do it because that way the new fruit comes in and I can pick it and pay off, go pay and get some money, get some bells for it, and because there's only so much you can do per day. Basically now that leads us to the seedy dark side of the game. The Godfather, Tom Nook. Nothing happens in Animal Crossing without Tom Nook knowing about it. Tom Nook is the one who meets you when you first get into town. He gives you your house and your first part-time job. Eventually, after you slave your life away, you can pay your debt off in full. It seemed to me, the more I worked, the more he gained. Whereas he started off in a small little shop, before too long he had a giant store and was wearing a nice Italian suit. He even brought in some muscle to help run the top floor of the store. Lord help you if you don't pay. You might end up in some kind of accident, if you know what I mean. In all seriousness, I know this game can come across as kiddie, but it's actually a lot of fun, especially in small spurts. I don't think I could waste hours and hours at a time on this game, but it's something that is fun to play with a half hour or so at a time. What's cool about the Wii version is the fact that you can use your Mii created head for the Animal Crossing character's head. It's easy to switch back and forth, and the first time that you go do this is free. Unlike the other versions of the Animal Crossing, you don't have to wait for people to come to your town, like Red for the paintings or Gracie with the clothes and things like that. You can actually take the bus to the city whenever you want. Don't ask me why the bus you take looks like the short bus for a school for retarded kids. I have no idea. When you go to town, just make sure you bring plenty of bells, because apparently the city folk of Animal Crossing didn't realize there's a recession going on. Seriously, 120,000 bells for a piece of furniture? Get out of here. Overall, this is pretty much the same game repackaged by Nintendo, but it does have a few upgrades and is a lot of fun. The controls are fantastic and really responsive. The graphics are top notch, of course for a Wii game I'm saying. I use component cables on a high def television, which makes the graphic look borderline HD. The sound and music is solid. There is no voice acting. Pretty much is basically like every other Animal Crossing game. It's just a bunch of mumbles. This title is now a Nintendo Select title and can be purchased for $19.99. It's a definite must-own if you have a Nintendo Wii or are looking to get one. For all those reasons and more, for my first Wii review for my site, I'm giving this game a stellar 4 out of 5.